how to measure your pool for a pool cover. Now what we've got here is what I like to call a B-shaped pool. Nice straight side, comes around a Roman little corner, and then it has a second one that's slightly wider than the one at the top. As you can see, slightly outside the other apex on the corner there. So I like to call this pool a B shape. Now, there's two different ways to measure this pool. The reason why there's two different ways to measure this pool is because we make our cover slightly different. We weld our blankets so that the weld lines run across the pool. So that when we wind the cover up onto the roller, those weld lines that are going down the pool roll up nicely over that tube. They're parallel to that tube as opposed to perpendicular like all the other mass-produced covers that are on the market. So we weld ours acrossways. It allows for an easier wind-up process, but what it also does is it allows us to make shapes really well. In particular, we can make these step out, so smaller up this end and a little bit wider down this end. So two different ways to measure it. First way is the easiest way. Total longest length by widest width. So the longest length would be from this red noodle right through to the orange noodle at the end there, measuring from where the water meets the pebblecrete. So just down here, all the way up to where the water meets the pebblecrete at the other end. That's the length, and then we do the width. From the widest point, so the green noodle is the widest point, we saw that before, from where the water meets the wall, straight line across to where the water meets the wall. So we get a nice length by breadth. That's one way to do it. You'd get sent out a pool cover that's about 300 mil wider, about 300 mil longer than what measurements that you give them. So that way, when you roll it out, you can be sure that it's going to be big enough. The other way to do it, and then the second option is if you're looking to try and reduce the cost. So still length, as the same before, from the red to the orange noodle, waterline to waterline. And then what I would get you to do is measure the widest part, which is, measure, let's start again. Second method is to go full length, like before, waterline to waterline, red noodle to orange noodle. Then you would measure for me the shortest width, which is this one here, yellow noodle waterline to directly opposite waterline across that. And then I want to know what the step out is. So let's call this 4 meters and let's call this 5 meters. So this step is about a meter wider. Now what I would need to know is how long that step is for as well. So you're going to tell me draw a straight line across to here, from about here through to about here, and you're going to measure what this length is. So again, draw a straight line across, and then we're going to measure from where my finger is through to about there. What's that length? That's called a step out. So you'll get a blanket that's 9 meters long by 4 meters wide, and then it comes down and then it has a step out of a meter, so it gets out to 5 for about 4.5 meters, give or take. Hope that makes sense.